Before you go down and type a comment and say something like, didn't this guy just make a video talking about why collab seasons were good for Fortnite? And yes, I did say that in the past. But recently, there's been some more stuff that has come out about collab seasons and how they're gonna be handled that honestly, I personally just do not agree with. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, let's get into it. Like, subscribe, use code LilSmurf, that's enough promotion. Let's go. So, Fortnite's had collab seasons in the past. I know, shocker. We've had 2 Marvel seasons and 1 Star Wars season, with varying levels of quality. Now, the first Marvel season, I absolutely loved. I thought it was peak. It was easily my favorite season of Chapter 2, and is probably in my top 3 favorite seasons of all time. The second Marvel season was definitely one of the seasons of all time. That's all I can really say about it. I wouldn't necessarily call it a bad season because I did enjoy it. I had fun during that season, but it just, something felt off about it. There was a distinct sort of like oomph or like a spark that was missing from that season that was present in the first Marvel season. And finally, we've had a Star Wars season, which I absolutely love Star Wars. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I gotta say, I was pretty disappointed by this season. Once again, not a bad season by any means, but it just could have been so much more. I've seen a lot of people say that they really did enjoy this season, and I can completely understand why. I myself also did enjoy this season, but as a very huge Star Wars fan, I could see that there was so much potential for this season that they just didn't do. POIs, weapons, and a bunch of other stuff, they just did not take advantage of that potential, and it ended up being a good season overall, but one that could have been so much better. And now, finally, we've gone to present day where we have 2 collab seasons that are going to be leaked, and supposedly a new sort of way that they are going to be doing collab seasons. And I don't like either of them. First off, it seems like we're going to be getting 2 collab seasons every chapter. One halfway through the chapter, and then one at the end of the chapter, which I don't really think is a good thing. I think like 1 collab season every couple of chapters is okay. Or even just 1 collab season per chapter. I would be fine with that. But that's not what they're doing, and I hate it. This is just going to be a bad thing for Fortnite in the long run. I'll get into why later, but the 2 collab seasons that we think are going to be coming in the future is another Marvel season with Noel and the Symbiotes, which I will admit is a relatively interesting concept, and The Simpsons. The Simpsons. Let me say that again. The Sims. I'm gonna talk about why I just don't like either of these themes. For one, another Marvel season. Are we serious? Listen, 1 Marvel season is fine. I could even accept 2. But if we're going on to our 3rd Marvel season and it hasn't even been that long since our last Marvel season, I feel like we're doing a bit too much. Listen, I love the symbiotes and I feel like it does have potential to be a really cool season, but like, I feel like we could easily just make the symbiote skins some item shop skins. Why do we need to have a full battle pass, POIs and items and all this stuff for another Marvel season? I feel like that's just doing too much, and it really just screams it being an ad. But if there's one thing that screams advertisement, it's The Simpsons. Now listen, I absolutely love The Simpsons. I think the show is great, but honestly, what potential is there for a Fortnite season? No, like actually, can someone please just type in the comments and explain to me what could possibly be done for a Fortnite season? And I'm not talking about battle pass or even POIs. I'm talking about the loot pool. Because at least with stuff like Marvel or Star Wars, we easily knew what could have been for the loot pool. Like Marvel seasons, obviously we were gonna get some powers and these like Wolverine claws and like Iron Man repulsors and all this stuff. We had a general idea. Star Wars, obviously it was going to be blaster rifles and lightsabers. We had a very obvious like thing that we could do for a loot pool. Genuinely, what could you do for The Simpsons? It is a sitcom. It is just about your average Joe going throughout these wacky scenarios. Nothing that crazy happens in the show that could warrant a battle royale. Do I want Simpsons skins? Yes. Do I even want some Simpsons POIs? Maybe. I feel like that could be cool. But honestly, how much longer are we going to do these kind of collab seasons? It honestly just feels like they're only doing Disney-related collab seasons, which I get, you know, Disney owns 10% of Epic Games. They're gonna have a say on what collabs get in the game. But like, how many more Disney collab seasons can we do before it just gets to the point where it's like, okay, like honestly, how long is it until we get like a Mickey Mouse collab season or something? I'm not opposed to collab seasons. I would love a DC season, or even something like a Harry Potter season, or something other than The Simpsons. And again, it would be one thing if these seasons were just once a year, but with the way that it's looking right now, it seems like we're going to be getting 2 of these things a year. And I honestly don't care if they're only a month long. Fortnite's Star Wars season was one of the lowest player counts in Fortnite's history. It only averaged around 1 million players, which still is a lot of players. However, it's not good for Fortnite. And this is coming from a Star Wars mega fan who absolutely loves the IP, and I even liked the season. How many more collab seasons are we going to do? What happened to collab mini updates? Something like the May the 4th event back in Chapter 4, or even the Avatar event back in Chapter 5. I can guarantee you right now, if we were supposedly going to get an Avatar update of any sorts, it would be a season. Collab updates felt so much more fun than 1 month long collab seasons, because 1 month long collab seasons just feel like really long updates. At least with the first Marvel season and even the second Marvel season, I at least felt like those were actual seasons. But for the Star Wars season, it honestly just felt like one long event, like one really long mini pass type event. Stuff like the Pirates of the Caribbean collab, or the Avatar collab, or the TMNT collab. Collabs like that, I absolutely love. It's like a week or 2 of some TMNT mythics or some sort of other collab, and it just gives them some representation on the island, but not enough to warrant an entire season, which honestly, I kind of feel like the Star Wars season was trying to do. A lot of the content in that season honestly just felt like it was made for like a 2 to 3 week long May the 4th event, but they just decided, oh, you know what, we're gonna make this one full season and add a live event at the end, which I will admit, the live event was fire, but still, I feel like we've just sort of lost the idea of having collab theme updates. If this is the route that they're going in the future, I don't know if I agree with it that much. But anyways, that's just my thoughts on the matter. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. I absolutely love reading your guys' opinions, so let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe. If we hit 20k subs by 2026, I'll get a low taper fade. Also, use code LilSmurf in the Fortnite item shop if you're picking up a skin or a battle pass or whatever. That's all I really wanted to say. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Needless to say, I keep a check. She was a bad, nevertheless. Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a wreck. Crash at my place, baby, you're a wreck. Needless to say, I'm keeping a check. She was a bad, nevertheless. Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a